Hello there, Chevron employees, and welcome. Thank you so much for watching with us today. I'm Sam, and I moderate these weekly presentations. In just a second, we're going to be joined by Tyson Mavar, one of our Chevron-focused senior financial advisors here, and he's going to be going over the recent Chevron offers that are coming out, and he'll be answering some questions and covering some topics related to that. I apologize in advance, he will not have time to answer any of your Q&A questions, but if you would like to leave them in the Q&A box below, I'll make sure either Tyson himself or one of our other Chevron-focused financial advisors can reach out to you after this presentation to answer those with you, either through phone or email. While he's speaking, I'll be entering some links, or they're going to pop up on your screen, and you can click on those. They'll guide you to our calendar where you can book an appointment with one of our Chevron-focused financial advisors, as well as some other resources we have available for Chevron employees. So please take advantage of those, click on those links. And very quickly before he comes on, I just want to remind you that we are not affiliated nor endorsed whatsoever by Chevron. We are a completely independent group of financial advisors. So please keep that in mind as you're listening along with Tyson today. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into it with Tyson Mavar.
Good afternoon, folks. Thank you for attending our webinar series today. My name is Tyson Mavar, one of the Chevron-focused retirement specialists here at the Retirement Group of Wealth Enhancement Group. Appreciate everybody spending a few minutes with us today. Today we're going to be talking about the Chevron retirement benefits, specifically offers. We've been hearing a lot of buzz from some of our clients and prospective clients in the Chevron community about a potential offer this year, early retirement package, and potentially some restructuring that might result in some involuntary separations of employees from Chevron. So today we're going to talk about what we've seen in the past. The retirement group has been working with Chevron employees for over 30 years. We have many clients from Chevron. Although we are not affiliated with Chevron nor endorsed by Chevron, we're a wealth management firm that happens to have a lot of experience helping folks from Chevron transition into retirement, managing assets, developing tax efficient strategies. Today we're going to talk about what we might be expecting this year if Chevron does come out with an offer, some previous offers that we've helped folks through, some of the tax implications, and also the pension plan and interest rates that affect the lump sum today. So the last couple offers that I've participated with my clients, the first one was about 9 or 10 years ago. It was titled Resource Optimization Management, or ROM. And then a few years back, during the beginning of the pandemic, there was 2 waves of another early retirement package that was known as Expression of Interest, or EOI for short. So we're going to talk about what that means and what we've seen in previous offers. So resource optimization management, this is a specific term for Chevron, but in general, it refers to efficient allocation of resources, mainly workers or the workforce and money. And Chevron has done this periodically, more scheduled than a lot of companies that we work with. I have a lot of clients from ExxonMobil, for example, and more generous in some of these offers as well, in terms of what the employees are able to get in terms of a severance package and health benefits, at least in the previous offers, the last 2 that I've worked with clients from. But essentially the company is reorganizing the company just to be more efficient going forward. Now, these EOIs, or expression of interest, refer to an opportunity to express interest in leaving the workforce or leaving the company specifically, taking a package, traditionally at least, or maybe not necessarily leaving the company, but moving to a different role within the company. We've seen that a lot as well. And in some cases, employees are forced to do that if an organization shrinks just to save their job within the company, within Chevron. Maybe they're not retirement eligible or just don't want to go look for another job. This could be an opportunity to continue employment with Chevron, get your eligibility for retirement, work a few more years. So there's just a total reorganization, and the EOI is a way to express interest in either leaving the company or leaving your current role. Now, in previous offers, especially the last offer that was, I guess it was 2020, and I think it rolled a little bit into 2021, we saw reorganization throughout a lot of different groups within Chevron. I work mostly with clients in Houston and West Texas in the Midland area. And we saw a lot of opportunities for people that were within a couple years of retirement to leave the company, take a package, ended up being up to a year's pay, up to a year's worth of health insurance, what was in this most previous offer, subsidized COBRA. So essentially keeping your active employee premiums for an additional year, and then switching over to the retiree plan, which most people qualify for and still is a good option for a lot of people. Not always the best option, the retiree plan, but Chevron still does subsidize health insurance for eligible retirees, both who are not yet age 65 and don't qualify for Medicare yet, as well as those over age 65. They have a Medicare supplement option, which is subsidized still for post 65 retirees. And so this offer was relatively generous compared to many early retirement packages that we see across the industry. And what we've also seen in the past is that there's a period of time, typically a month or two, where employees will have an opportunity to evaluate this offer and see if they want to express interest for leaving the company, is first and foremost. And then potentially express interest if you plan on staying at the company for another role within the same organization or a different organization. And we also want to talk about the significance of the pension plan as it pertains to taking an offer. Now, as many of you know, you have a variety of different options to take your pension plan. It could be as a lump sum, it could be one of these various annuity options, a single life annuity, joint survivor annuity, a uniform income, and period certain. And all of these have their merits, your personal circumstances, your risk tolerance, your health and life expectancy, tax bracket status, propensity to work after you leave Chevron, family members, interest in leaving death benefits. All of these play a role in what's likely to be the best option for you and your family. And the lump sum we've found is very, very popular. Even as interest rates have come up in the last several years and lump sum payouts have gone down, we still see quite a few of our retirees from Chevron taking a lump sum, or at least attracted to considering a lump sum. So all of these options we believe ought to be considered, and we've developed a cash flow analysis to incorporate these options, give you a comparison on how they play out with different assumptions on life expectancy, as well as different assumptions on your average rate of return on your retirement portfolio. And it's worth spending some time on, and this is why we're hosting not only this webinar, but also some in-person live seminars in preparation for the possibility of an offer here in 2025, just so people can revisit their retirement plans and be ready to make a relatively big decision in a somewhat short period of time, potentially. Something we also spend a lot of time on is the payout factors that are a function both of your total points with the company, which is your age plus service, as well as your timing of your election of your pension. You don't have to take your pension right away from Chevron, and there could be some arguments to be made for deferring the election of your pension, whether it's because you still have age penalties and you're hoping to age out of those penalties, getting a better pension payout when you do take your pension, or because we are either anticipating interest rates go down and you could receive an increase to your lump sum, or at least we're hoping for interest rates to go down. And if you don't need the money, that could be a possibility as well. I want to draw your attention here to the far right column. We'll zoom in a little bit. The far right column is your age when you commence your benefit. So not necessarily tied to your retirement date, but when you start your benefit. You could see somebody who on the y-axis here left the company when they were, let's say, 55. They could defer their benefit for 5 years, and you can see their payout on the far right column here would go from 75% to 100%, whether they take as a lump sum or as an annuity. Both of those options are growing by deferring the election of the pension. Now, if they were age 60 and had at least 55 points with the company, there's no increase to the benefit, either lump sum or annuity, by deferring the election of the pension. Now, you could see increases to your lump sum if interest rates are falling. You could also see decreases to your lump sum if interest rates are staying flat or rising, because this lump sum payout is also a function of your life expectancy. So all else held equal, the older you get after you leave the company beyond age 60, the less money the company has to give you as a lump sum. So there's a lot of variables here. We would, of course, coach you with this if you're a client of ours, and we'll talk to you even if you're not a client of ours. If we spend some time on the phone, we'll talk to you about the merits of potentially delaying the commencement of your benefit. Whereas most people that we work with will just take that money right away, whether it's to start receiving annuity checks as soon as possible or to start investing that lump sum money as soon as possible, which certainly needs to be considered in that decision. Now, we also have updated rates. Of course, Chevron updates the interest rates monthly, and the way that they calculate your lump sum is going to be based on corporate bond interest rates, 3 different corporate bond interest rates. They call them the segment rates, which are based off short, intermediate, and long-term corporate bonds. And on this chart, you can see them listed as first segment, second segment, and third segment interest rates. Essentially, what they do is they look at the corporate bond rates of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th month prior to your benefit commencement date, not related to your retirement date, but your actual commencement date of your pension. And then they take an average of those 3 months and create these blended rates. So the most recently available data we have is December corporate bonds, which means that we know what the March lump sum interest rates are going to be. If you compare these interest rates to the February blended rates, you can see that they've gone up on all segments. And to preface this, it's roughly a 10% decrease to your lump sum for every 1% increase to interest rates. That relationship depends on your age. The younger you are, the more severe of an impact interest rates can have on your lump sum. It's also important to note that the second segment rate carries by far the most weight in the calculation. For example, it's 3 times more relevant than the first segment rate. So we pay more attention to the second segment rate and what direction, as well as the magnitude of the change in that interest rate. And you can see that it went up 17 basis points from February to March. So just looking at the second segment rate for somebody who's roughly 60 years old, that could result in roughly a 1.7% decrease to your lump sum. The interest rates changing from February to March. Fortunately, when the interest rates are published, you can model the changing interest rates, how that's going to impact your lump sum. But when we don't have the data fully available, you're not going to be able to model that in the net benefits pension modeler. Fortunately, we can track these rates pretty closely ahead of the IRS publishing these monthly rates. So it does pay to pay some attention to these interest rates as they change. And as you get close to retirement, start modeling different retirement dates, modeling different interest rate assumptions. You can toggle the interest rate changes. Maybe they go up 1 or 2% before you retire, or what happens if they go down 1% or 2% up until the retirement date. So we like to run a lot of different scenarios. Then we will incorporate these pension payouts, both lump sum and annuity, into a retirement cash flow analysis that we offer to do complimentary for everybody working at Chevron, whether or not you're a client yet. Even if you already have an advisor, maybe you're just doing everything on your own and just want to spend some time with us, we're happy to do that. Certainly we're happy to tell you our story, our value proposition, and the cost of our service. But we want to help you make good decisions on your retirement, and we know that you can help us grow our business by referring us to some of your coworkers. And what we found statistically, 74% of Americans over the age of 50 don't have a written plan for their retirement. So whether it's because this is you, or maybe it's just been a while since you've updated your plan, let us do this for you. It's a completely free service. Again, we'd like to earn your business, but we're more interested in maintaining a good reputation among the Chevron community. And I'm sure you can probably help us grow our business if we give you a good investment of your time. And we do, because of the likelihood of an offer coming up, we do have some in-person events. If you'd like to come have lunch or dinner with us, let us know. We'll let you know what's going on in California and Houston is where we do those. If you'd like to just, from the comfort of your own home or your office, learn more about different Chevron retirement planning strategies or generic estate planning, tax planning, and investment strategies, we publish all of our webinars on YouTube and LinkedIn. So I encourage everybody to follow us on LinkedIn if you're not doing so already, or look us up on YouTube to get some more information. Or just schedule a meeting with myself or one of my colleagues that understands very intimately the Chevron benefits. We'll do our best to point you in the right direction, spend some time with you, and the best way we can help you is by running that cash flow analysis to identify, do you have enough money to retire? If not now, when can you afford to retire? If you do leave Chevron, do you need to work? How much should you target as a salary? How long should you consider working to have a sustainable retirement plan? Are there potentially some tax and distribution strategies you should be considering, such as net unrealized appreciation for your ESOP shares of Chevron stock, Roth conversions, contributions to the Roth 401k? If estate planning is important to you, we can help you with regards to that as well, getting your trust ideas set up and understanding the different tax implications, as well as the logistics of transferring assets beyond your demise. All of these things we'd like to spend some time helping you with. If you're willing to do so, you can give us a call at our home office at 800-900-5867. You could also email us at info@theretirementgroup.com, or using this QR code, if you schedule a meeting, it will be with myself or one of my colleagues that understands Chevron benefits. And here's a QR code to our LinkedIn page if you just like to watch some more videos, some specific to the Chevron retirement strategies and some more generic to other financial planning topics that we find important to folks approaching their retirement from Chevron. So with that, we're going to wrap it up today. Thanks everybody for spending some time with us. Let us know if you'd like to spend a few minutes on the phone one-on-one or come out to one of our live events, and we hope to talk to you all very soon.